welcome back to Clip It. This is the continuation of me and Mr. Tyrik Jackson, Mr. X Factor. We are going to continue this interview, and you do not want to miss it. Welcome back to Clip It.
So with the apps, I have 3 different apps. One for Premier Barber Institute, which is my school. One for Sharper Image Barbershops, that is a scheduling system in which clients can schedule their appointment with their favorite barber. And I think it's really important for our industry to have these booking systems. A lot of stylists have been having online scheduling for quite some time. However, they rely on the system and they're not branding their booking. You mentioned it earlier. When you start, you go out and you build a clientele. You're passing out cards. You're shaking hands, kissing babies, introducing yourself everywhere you go. You know, you're flashing your hair. You're doing whatever it is that you got to do to get people's attention. And everywhere you went, when you went to the bank to deposit money, you'll tell somebody, "Ooh, you got some nice hair, girl. That's nice." And you just start a conversation, and then they would have one back with you, and then you say, "Well, here's my card.
Yeah.
You know, if your stylist isn't around or they take vacation, come see me. I'd love to take care of you. You so beautiful." And you would do those things because we knew the importance on how to generate clientele. And what you would do is you give a card. That card had your brand on it, right? You're the face. I'm Juanita. Here's my business card, and my salon is such and such, right?
Right.
So they would come into the salon. They would see the salon. They see the name. It's the same on the card as on the window. It's the same on the phone. When they call, "How you doing? This is such and such. This is Juanita. How can I help you?" The branding of your business has been the consistency, right? And then when you would give them an appointment or schedule, you say, "Well, download Style Seat and schedule me on Style Seat." Here's the disconnect. You've been talking about you. You've been talking about your business. Your business has a name. Your business cards have your name on it and the branding of your name, the color scheme, everything that you've put so much time and energy in to market yourself effectively. And then you tell them to look for you on Style Seat. That's the disconnect.
I got you.
So this whole brand your booking is important. It's a campaign that we've been running for quite some time. So that way, hey, I'm Tyrik. Sharper Image Barbershops is the name of my barbershops. You can find a variety of barbers in our shop that suit your needs. You can see their social media. You can schedule with them through the Sharper Image Barbershop app. And so each barber has their own proprietary link. There are Instagram and a headshot, so you remember who it was when you came in. So as a customer, I'm always focused on the end user or the psychology of our consumer. They'll come in. And I would pay attention to what they would say. They would call and they say, "Hey, is the one guy in the barbershop?" And I'm like, who are you referring to? And they would say, "It's the brother. He on the left side. he got the bald head and the gray beard. The dude with the gray beard." I'm like, yeah. So they would describe to us who they were looking for.
Right.
And so it was important to then put them in our scheduling system with a photo of them. So when we tell people to schedule with us, they don't have to say, "Hey, the gentleman on the side with the bald head and the gray beard, oh, there he goes right there. Let me go ahead and schedule with him." And so they're not looking for a Style Seat or a Booksy or a Vagaro or a Reserve or Iris. We're not sending them there. We're sending them to us. So they download it. And it's important because then you can send push notifications just like you do on Instagram and Facebook.
Right.
Those notifications pop up on your phone. Like currently right now, I have a few notifications that's popped on my phone since we've been talking. And these notifications are telling me this one's a text message, this one was a phone call, and this was a program that I use. And it's just giving me some data. Same thing with having your own booking app. You can send a push notification so your customer would receive an icon from your business with your logo, your name, and it would say, "Don't forget, whatever, we appreciate you. We're getting through this time together. We love and appreciate our guests," whatever the case may be. And that is why branding your booking is so, so important, because you're really branding your business through the technology of a booking app, not just a website, not just a link, and not some other company that you're relying to market you in that way. Because
it's very smart to have. You're right. Because we're
Think,
using all
think,
these other different
think
companies.
think about it. It's equivalent to you having a pizza store, and your pizza store is at the mall in the food court. And you'd be like, hey, come to my pizza shop. And people will come to the mall. They hungry. They want, we gotta go check out Juanita's pizza, right? They go into the mall and they get into the food court and they walk looking around. They're looking for your pizza shop. And then little Chinese lady come on and she give a little sample. Here, try this. And they try the little sample. And then they're like, you know what? Yeah, you going to Juanita? Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get some. And then you're losing your business because you're putting your clientele that you've met at the bank, that you've met down the street, that you've stopped them and you spent time connecting with this person, sharing your business information with them, talking to them, and you're putting them in a pool of other businesses just like yours. Because those style seats and a lot of those booking sites, if you will, they are a community-based app like Instagram or Facebook or whatever. They're community-based. So I'll go in and I got to remember, what's Juanita's name of her shop? Let me go in here real quick. And I got to search for you. And if I can't find you, I'll see 10, 15, 20 other people in my area based off a location. And then you begin to lose business because they might find someone who's just as good as you, maybe even better. And they might even be cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, the bottom line is so many different things that we can use nowadays in regards to enhancing our businesses. And what do you think about this new generation of professionals that's coming into our industry? And how easy do you find it to mentor them?
So I think one of the keys is, and we said it earlier, is adaptability. When you are a seasoned professional, right? They call us old, right? When you're a seasoned
Yes.
professional, you have to be able to connect with the new professional. The new professional is on social media. So think about this. I'm a new professional. I'm coming out of school and my mama said you was the bomb. So I want to come to check out Miss Juanita and I'm going to go to her salon and I want to introduce myself. And then I'll say, hey, here's my Instagram, here's my Snapchat. And you're like, well, I don't have that, baby. It's an immediate turnoff for me as a professional because you're not connected to what professionals are doing right now. And now, if the person is smart, it's a great way for them to get in the door and say, well, I can help you with if they have a serving mentality,
Right.
I can help you with your business and social media and marketing. And you'd be like, well, I don't need that, baby. I've been here for 15 years. I've been here before social media. I ain't got no problem. I've been here 20 years. I got this going on, girl. You came here for interview. We can't be in that position as seasoned professionals. We need to be open-minded. We need to understand that our industry is shifting, but we also have to know how to connect with those people that are using that type of technology so that we can better our businesses and serve them in a way to be helpful for their growth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where some of the seasoned professionals, there's a disconnect. You have to be able to connect and adapt to shift changes. I know when TikTok came out, I'm talking to my 7-year-old or 11-year-old who wasn't allowed to be on TikTok and social media. And we give her the permission. I'm like, hey, show me how to do this on TikTok. Why is that important? Because it's a new platform that I can promote, market what I do to other people who are on there that may not necessarily be on Instagram or Facebook. So it's a whole new market, which is where the coaching and the mentoring comes in through that. So we need to be able to adapt when it comes to the new professional. There has to be a bridge or a conduit that connects the younger person to the older person. If we come in with all of our wisdom and all of our knowledge and all of our experience, and we shut down the young, ambitious person's idea of creativity and understanding how social media works, then we actually are burning that bridge and we're not bridging that gap, if you will. So we need to be able to connect with them.
That's an awesome answer. That's an awesome answer. So what do you think about these new suites that's coming up and giving people opportunity to have their own business or far as just taking stylists from other businesses. What do you think about the suite situation?
I love the traditional style shop salon experience. I love the camaraderie. I love walking in and getting different viewpoints and seeing different people that don't necessarily look like me. And when I say that, I mean, I have a white girl that works at my shop. I have a white guy that works at my shop. I have an older gentleman who's African American. I have a Puerto Rican dude. I had a girl who would look like a little boy. Like, it's unique to walk into a space and see so many differences in the way people look, because that attracts different people to the business. So I'm a huge fan of traditional style business in what we do.
Okay.
A huge fan. I wasn't a fan of the suite experience for a while, but I have different perspective on it as well. I think if someone's coming out of school and trying to establish themselves, I think that a suite, unless you have the capital to do it, is probably not the best way to go. It's going to be a lot of overhead. You haven't established a clientele, and I wouldn't recommend someone going right into a suite without a clientele. What I think the suite generally is the death of the traditional styling salon. However, it has also been the resurrection for some. This is what I mean. When you have an older seasoned professional that had a 10, 15 chair shop, they downsize because their staff has left. They downsize because overhead, maybe they're not servicing as many people. Clients are passing away. They're moving. They're going on to the younger stylists who have moved on, maybe have opened their own shops and suites and things like that. You take a look at your business and say, am I going to spend all this money on overhead and all this stuff? It's probably better for me. And then you have the more intimate experience. It almost brings you back to how you started at home in the salon. The difference is that you have experience.
Right.
You have a clientele base and you understand your budget. So it makes more sense for you to downsize in the suite. So it could be the resurrection of your business for some. I think for the newer generation, it's probably not the best way to go because you haven't learned the experience of shop itself and the struggles of, some of us they come in and they're too entitled. Like, I'm ready to do my own thing and I'm gonna have my own, they're all about their brand, which is good, but they're coming in with this attitude of what they want and what they need, not how can I serve your business. And I've learned so much through serving. It's helped my personal business and my brand while I was developing my brand along the way. Serve your needs by serving the needs of others first.
Yes.
And it was through serving that I ended up working at a barbershop. It was through serving that I opened my first location. It was through serving that I opened my second location. It was through serving that I was able to compete at a high level in our industry. It was through serving at a school that I learned how to do school the right way so that way I can open my own school one day. And in 2013, we did that. But it was all because I was serving everywhere I went. When I worked, wherever I worked, people thought it was my business.
Yes.
Because of the care that I put into this business. People say, you need to buy this barbershop. This you run this better than they do. And these were the things that were happening because of my willingness to serve. I was getting the best training of my life through serving other individuals.
Yes. And I think that's the best way to be in this industry. Well, Mr. Jackson, I have to tell you, thank you so much for everything that you have contributed into this industry.
Thank you.
I think that, far as your platform work and everything that you have accomplished, everything that you are doing even today with your Tuesday Real Talk. No, is it Tuesday?
Tyrik Talks Tuesday.
Tyrik Talk Tuesdays. And do you have Thursdays too?
So yeah, Tyrik Talks Tuesdays is every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. For the past 3 years, I've been doing that consistently. Thursdays I would do sporadically, but what I've been doing now is really just getting the mindset of the practitioner all over the country and the globe. So we're bringing different people, different thoughts on how to move forward and what are the things that we're doing in order to get back to work safely, to put the strategies in place to help our state, to help our industry. A lot of people are complaining that their voices aren't being heard. And I would say it's true, partly because many of them haven't ever gone to the board to speak. And so your voice hasn't been heard. You got your license and that was it. You haven't been to a board meeting. The way I would give you the description of that is, imagine having a child and the child was deaf, mute, and never spoke. Never spoke. You doing the dishes, one day they're out front and they just start yelling, "Mom!" You wouldn't be able to recognize their voice because you've never heard them speak.
Right.
And so how can you run to their aid to assist them if you have never heard them speak? So shame on us as an industry for not connecting with those people who do. My first board meeting I went to, I was 20. I've been connecting with the board for years, but I'm just one person in industry in our state that has thousands and thousands, over 100,000 stylists and about 10,000 stylist barbers. Barbers,
Yeah.
shop owners combined. So you're talking at least 110,000 practitioners, licensed professionals in our industry that have not gone to speak. And now that there's an issue, now that there's something they want to talk about, now they running to the board for advisement and to try and get some changes. And so what we've been doing, we've been conforming to what the industry or to what our state has been doing rather than transforming from the inside.
Because you're administrator on the state board.
So I'm not an administrator or an advisor on the board. However, I do have relations with people who are on the board. Okay. One is the chairman and one is the president. So I have their personal contact information. And whenever there are things, I meet with them. If they ask me to come into a meeting, I will come into a meeting, because it's important to establish those relationships and spend the time to do that, so that way when you do need something, they're more, they won't be, they're more prone to want to help you because you've been connecting with them for all this time.
Wow. Well, that's a good thing to know, to just stay in touch with.
I got some question for you.
What's that?
So how did we meet?
We met at the Philadelphia Hair Show.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, you were doing a class. Uh-huh. So I walked into your class. You were already teaching and everything, and for some odd reason, you felt like you had to call me up.
Yeah,
in front of the whole class.
He that has an ear, let him hear. And I was listening, and I said something told me that I need to address you. And I know that when you stood up and we talked, and we were face to face, there's something about an eye connection that you felt, you heard what I was saying, and it felt like I was speaking right into you. Mm-hmm. You could tell that you got a little nervous, a little emotional, and I don't see you as a person who gets very nervous easily, and I think that something spoke to you that day, and you even said, shame on me, I need to adapt. And look at you, you got your podcast thing popping, you got your video. And so I'm very proud of you for just taking the initiative and going to that show and sitting in that classroom and connecting in a way that it has encouraged you to move forward and not look at your industry or your business like, but how do you pivot and shift? Sometimes you're the threshold for somebody else's breakthrough. And I'm glad that I was able to be that threshold for you to walk through.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Because it was definitely a pleasure. And then it also allowed me to see that I am remembered in Philadelphia, because people was like, that's Juanita.
There were so many people in that room that you didn't even recognize, but they recognized you because they were little girls when they went to your salon.
Yep.
Parents went there. And it was such for me as a facilitator of the classroom and being on a platform, it was a moment for me to sit here and say, wow, this woman has touched so many lives, and there are people in this classroom who came to hear me, but they recognized her. And it wasn't until I pulled you up front and we began to talk that happened, because if not, you'd have just been another person in the classroom.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important when you're facilitating a room as an instructor that you get a pulse for the room, you get a feel for the energy in the room, and you pay attention. Most people get up there and they have an agenda. And yes, I have a plan. I know what I want to cover. I know exactly what I want to talk about. Right. But more importantly, I'm there for you. You paid the ticket. What do you need? Right. And because I was in that position, I was listening. I was listening, and I was able to take from my well of experiences and get some water out of there and
Yeah.
pour it in everybody's cup so that way they can consume it. And through that, I was able to identify people in the room. And I was just listening to God, and he said, you go ahead and pick on that one real quick. And I was like, are you sure? She looked like she might lay me out if I pick on her too much. But yes, you were definitely a pleasure to have in the classroom. Your energy was awesome, and the people that already respected you, I'm sure, is very, very encouraging and uplifting for you to see that all of your hard work and your labor wasn't in vain, and that you were well respected. One girl even said, "I do this because of you."
I know.
She said, "I decided to do this because of you," and I thought that was awesome,
Ain't that something?
special.
And I'm not even gonna put myself out there and tell you that was the first time I've been to a show. I ain't gonna tell you how long.
But you can't. I can't make this stuff up. This was an actual experience that actually happened, and it was a new door for you to walk through. It was a threshold, a breakthrough, if you will, for you to just walk through. You can either stand at the door and look, but you didn't. You walked through it, and I'm so glad that you did.
Well, I'm so glad that I met you because you did motivate me to step out of some things and to move forward positively. And thank you so much for coming on to Clip It and watching me grow from the moment when we met. And I look forward to just continuing our friendship.
Absolutely. Once the school opens back up with us allowing to be in the building, I'd love for you to come down and share some of your experiences in the industry, as well as, showing some traditional Marcel work and
I would
some
love to.
relaxer and chemical texture work, and just some of your experience. It'd be fantastic. We do a wig competition. We do wigs, so we make wigs. There's a lot of things that we do that traditional barbering doesn't do, that really helps make our school completely different from a lot of the schools that barbers have the ability to go to. Not only that, we're federally funded, so it helps more people than just a small number of folks.
Definitely. I would love to. Definitely. So,
I'll hold you to that.
huh?
I said I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay. And we didn't touch bases on it, but we have to.
Absolutely.
So with this COVID-19.
Yeah. So we've been. I was on the phone call today with different people in our legislative branch, judicial branch. I'm just really elected officials primarily. There were some lawyers on there who was helping to make sure we had the right verbiage, but we're really talking about how do we open our industry back up, with structure, with a strategy, and we don't just want to open the pool up and just let everybody jump in. We want to make sure that as we open, we do it effectively, so they can't look to us and say, you're the reason that this thing has spread. We want to say that, hey, you're the reason that you've been able to contain it and not spread it because of your already taught practices that we do in our industry. And so that was a lot of it, because a lot of them don't know the training that we get. They don't understand. They think we just do hair, and because we're in close contact with people, that's all we do, when in fact we spend a lot of our time on sanitary safe practices.
Yes, we do.
Some of these restaurant workers that are opening restaurants, they don't get the training in the safety and sanitary protocols that we get. The restaurant may, but the employees do not.
Right.
And so, it's important that we have to have our voices heard with unity, and so a collaborative effort is important. Collaboration is better than competition.
Yes. Well said. Well said. So if it's anything that, you need in regards to that, because I know you're working on trying to get everything situated. Do you think that everything would ever get back to normal, or
it will be a new normal.
A new normal. Okay.
We're talking about the psychology of the consumer. Have you been out and did grocery shopping or?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you go out and you see people not masked up or not, you're like, ooh, I don't know about him.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
that is the psychology of the consumer for you. Think about your customer, your clientele, the people that you're servicing. How are they going to feel walking into your establishment and feeling that you might not have proper protocol? They're going to be like, oh, I don't know about all this. Juanita, that's my friend and all, but she don't look like she. We have to think about the consumer, and there's the psychology, and what it is that they're seeing and experiencing. What are they seeing and what exactly are they experiencing? Because you're having those same experiences and
Right.
you're seeing those same things out in public. So how can you combat that with the new experiences that you're going to offer in your business? Those are things we
Right.
need to think about moving forward.
Yeah. All right then. Well, that sounds good. A new normal.
A new normal.
That's what we're gonna call it. So I want to say thank you. I also want to say something to our audience. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I
Absolutely.
want to also give a shout out to the frontliners, and I would like to send my condolences, and Tyrik would like to send his condolences to the families that have lost loved ones due to the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And I ask for everyone to stay safe, to try to stay safe and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And we look forward to seeing you on the next. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode of Clip It. If you have any comments or any questions, please just, comment below, and I'll have all of Tyrik's information in the
Absolutely.
caption below. All his email address, all his information. If you have any questions, just check him out on
Yes, absolutely. I'm an open door. I'm an open book. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can find me on Instagram at I am Tyrik Jackson every Tuesday morning, 9:30 a.m. for Tyrik Talk Tuesdays. And you can listen to the perspective that we have on Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. It will be my pleasure to continue to serve you. Remember, serve your needs by serving the needs of others first.